Hi friends, and welcome to the Rolla Public Library's virtual story time. My name is Mr. Derek, and today I'm here with our friend Rapunzel. Rapunzel was just telling me about something that's concerning her. Oh, he said that? I think I might have to have a talk with some of those puppets in the back. Yeah, so Rapunzel was telling me that apparently some of the puppets in the back room, they don't think that she should hang out with them because she doesn't have a tag. So, but Rapunzel, the reason you don't have a tag is because you were handmade. Somebody braided your hair and somebody sewed your clothes and they made this little necklace that you're wearing. And they made you, and that's why you don't have a tag, is because you were handmade. Puppets that have tags were manufactured by a factory, and that doesn't make them bad, but that's why they have a tag, is because somebody made them in a factory. You were made by hand, and that's why you don't have a tag. Some puppets don't really just understand how it works. Oh, you're still a little bit worried. Well, I actually have a good story about that, and I think it might help you understand your feelings and maybe help give you some new ways of looking at how you feel about this. Do you want to read it? She asked me what it was. So we're going to read The Sneetches by Dr. Seuss. I think you'll find that story to be interesting. She said she wants to try it. Okay, cool. The Sneetches by Dr. Seuss. Now the star-belly Sneetches had bellies with stars. The plain-belly Sneetches had none upon theirs. The stars weren't so big. They were really quite small. You might not think such a thing would matter at all. Look at that. The Sneetch with the star is walking past the Sneetch without a star. The Sneetch with the star doesn't look like he's being very nice, does he? But because they had stars, all the star-belly Sneetches would brag, "We're the best kind of Sneetch on the beaches." With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they'd snort. "We'll have nothing to do with the plain-belly sort." And whenever they met some, when they were out walking, they'd hike right on past them without even talking. Look at that. They got their snoots up in the air, and the poor Sneetches without any stars, they look sad. When the star-belly children went out to play ball, could a plain belly get in the game at all? No. You only could play if your bellies had stars, and the plain belly children had none upon theirs. When the star-belly Sneetches had Frankfurter roasts, or picnics or parties, or marshmallow toasts, they never invited the plain-belly Sneetches. They left them out cold. In the dark of the beaches, they kept them away, never let them come near, and that's how they treated them year after year. A Frankfurter is a hot dog, so they're having hot dog roasts, and they're having a party, but they're making the Sneetches, they don't want the Sneetches without stars on their bellies to join them. That's not very nice, is it? Then one day, it seems, while the plain-belly Sneetches were moping and doping alone on the beaches, just sitting there wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of cars. There's the stranger. I wonder what he's up to. Do you think he's going to help those Sneetches? Let's find out. "My friends," he announced in a voice clear and keen, "my name is Sylvester McMonkey McBean. And I've heard of your troubles. I've heard you're unhappy. But I can fix that. I'm the fix-it-up chappie. I've come here to help you. I have what you need. And my prices are low, and I work at great speed. And the best part is, my work is 100% guaranteed." Do you think McBean has the answer to the Sneetches' problem? Let's find out. Then quickly, Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine. And he said, "You want stars, like a star-belly Sneetch? My friends, you can have them for $3 each." Look, there's the inside of the machine, and let's see what happens. "Just pay me your money and hop right aboard." So they clambered inside. Then the big machine roared. And it knocked, and it bonked, and it jerked, and it burped. And then it bopped them out. But the thing really worked. When the plain belly Sneetches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon theirs. The Sneetches are going in and they're paying their money to Mr. McMonkey over here, and then they're popping out with stars on their bellies. Then they yelled at the ones who had stars at the start. "We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're all just the same now, you snooty old smarties. And now we can go to your Frankfurter parties." "Good grief," groaned the ones who had stars at the first. "We're still the best Sneetches, and they are the worst." "But now, how in the world will we know," they all frowned, "if which kind is what, or the other way around?" Look, they're worried now because they all have stars, but they still think they're the better Sneetches. Then up came McBean with a very sly wink, and he said, "Things are not quite as bad as you think. So you don't know who's who. That is perfectly true. But come with me, friends. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make you, again, the best Sneetches on the beaches, and all it will cost you is $10 eaches." Uh-oh. I don't think McBean has a good idea for the Sneetches here. I don't think he wants to help the Sneetches. What do you think? "Belly stars are no longer in style," said McBean. "What you need is a trip through my star-off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars, so you won't look like Sneetches who have them on theirs." And that handy machine worked very precisely, removed all the stars from their tummies quite nicely. Look at that. Now the star-belly Sneetches are going in, and they're popping out without stars. Then with snoots in the air, they paraded about, and they opened their beaks, and they let out a shout. "We know who is who. Now there isn't a doubt. The best kind of Sneetches are Sneetches without." See? They're still being snooty, aren't they? Then, of course, those with stars all got frightfully mad. To be wearing a star now was frightfully bad. Then, of course, old Sylvester McMonkey McBean invited them into his star-off machine. And then, of course, then on, as you probably guess, things really got into a horrible mess. Look at that. They're arguing about which group of Sneetches are the better kind. And all the while, McBean is getting richer and richer. Isn't that interesting? All the rest of that day, on those wild, screaming beaches, the fix-it-up chappie kept fixing up Sneetches. Off again, on again, in again, out again. Through the machines they raced round and round, changing their stars every minute or two. They kept paying money. They kept running through, until neither the plain nor the star-bellies knew whether this one was that one, or what one was what, or which one was what one, or what one was who. But they're all going in and out of the machine, and now they don't even know which groups they were originally a part of. Then, when every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-it-up chappie packed up and he went. And he laughed as he drove in his car up the beach. They will never learn. No, you can't teach a Sneetch. But McBean was quite wrong. I'm quite happy to say that the Sneetches got really quite smart on that day. The day they decided that Sneetches are Sneetches, and no kind of Sneetch is the best on the beaches. That day, all the Sneetches forgot about stars, and whether they had one or not upon theirs. The end. Well, that was the story of the Sneetches, and I hope you found something interesting in that story. Did you find something interesting in that story, Rapunzel? Yeah, sometimes stories can help us understand ourselves better, and they can help us understand our feelings, and then also help us to understand what we should do, especially when maybe somebody's not being too fair to us. Well, friends, that's all the time we have today, but I encourage you to come here to the Rolla Public Library and check out some books for your own story times that you can do with your grown-ups. Thank you, and have a good day.